Welcome to First Page Fridays, a video series from the Ames Free Library. Join us each week as AFL staff share the first pages of books from a wide variety of genres. We'll read everything from new releases to titles from the library's most popular authors and even some of our personal favorites.
Black Cake by Charmaine Wilkerson. For my parents, all four of them. Prologue, then, 1965. He should have known it would come to this. He should have known the day that Hawkeye wife of his ran away from home. He should have known the day he saw his daughter swimming in the bay as a storm bore down upon her. Should have known when his parents dragged him to this island and changed their names. He stood at the water's edge now, watching the waves crash against the rocks, waiting for his daughter's body to wash ashore. A policeman beckoned to him. The policeman was a girl. He'd never seen one of those before. She was holding a fluff of white fabric, his daughter's wedding dress, smeared with black cake and lilac icing. She must have dropped the cake on herself as she jumped up from the table. He remembered a clattering of plates, the splintering of glass on the tiled floor, someone crying out. When he looked toward his daughter, she was gone, and her satin-covered shoes lay strewn on the lawn outside like tiny capsized boats. Part 1. Now, 2018. She's here. Byron hears the elevator doors peel open. His first instinct is to rush toward his sister and embrace her. But when Benny leans in to hug him, Byron pushes her away, then turns to knock on the door to the attorney's office. He feels Benny put a hand on his arm. He shakes it free. Benny stands there, her mouth open, but says nothing. And what right does she have to say anything? Byron hasn't seen Benny in 8 years, and now their ma is gone for good. What does Benny expect? She took a family argument and turned it into a cold war. Never mind all that talk about societal rejection and discrimination and whatnot. It seems to Byron that whatever kind of problem you have in this world, you can find someone to show you understanding. And times are changing. There's even been a study in the news recently about people like Benny. People like Benny. The study says it can be a lonely road for people like her, but she won't be getting any sympathy from Byron, no. Benedetta Bennett gave up that luxury years ago when she turned her back on her family, even though she claims it was the other way around. At least she showed up this time. 6 years ago, Byron and his mother sat in the church across from his father's coffin up in LA County, waiting for Benny to arrive. But no Benny. Later, Byron thought he saw his sister skirting the burial grounds in the back of the car. She'd be there any minute, he thought. But still, no Benny. Only a text from her later saying, "I'm sorry." Then silence, for months at a time, then years. As each year went by, he was less certain that Benny had been there that day, or that he'd ever had a sister to begin with. That he'd ever had a chubby, squiggle-headed baby girl following him around the house. That she'd ever cheered him on at the national meets. That he'd ever heard her voice sailing across the auditorium as he closed his hand around his doctoral diploma. That he'd ever not felt the way he does right now, orphaned and pissed as hell.